Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Jerome Strickland channel. I'd like to give a shout out to all the subscribers, to all of the truth seekers, to all of the awakened ones out there. Yes, that is seeking truth tonight. Are you seeking truth tonight? Are you seeking awareness of what's really going on? Yes, we are back with another video for your enlightened mind, for the open-minded people, for the people that are not sheeple, but they are people. People that don't follow the status quo. They don't follow the king and the queen bee. They follow their heart, their intuition, and their vibration and their frequency. What's inside of you is what leads you into all truth. The God inside of you is what leads you into all truth. Tonight, I want to give y'all part 2 of the manipulation of a nation. If you remember part 1, we talked about the digital currency. We talked about media making everybody dumb in America. And then we talked about the religious system. And it is a system that gives you fear and guilt. It pours on the fear and the guilt. And doubting, making you doubt where you're going. So tonight, I want to talk about 3 more arms of the manipulation of a nation. I want to give you 3 more manipulations of the nation. Tonight, I want to talk about the pharmaceutical industry, the educational industry, and the governmental, or the lack of privacy. Don't know how long I'm going to make this video. It's kind of late at night, and I'm just going with the flow. But I want to begin by talking about the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmaceutical. Legalized drugs. Drugs that have side effects. In many cases, the side effects are worse than the actual issue that you're having. Just the potential of these side effects can make you have second thoughts about these pharmaceuticals. You see, these drugs They only treat the symptoms. Painkillers, drugs to calm you down, drugs to pick you up, drugs to kill your pain. Drugs, drugs, drugs. But what if I told you your mind has the power to heal you? Your mind is the most powerful tool in the universe. There is no more powerful tool than the mind. As a man thinketh, so he is. And we are addicted to the pharmaceuticals. A lot of times, if we just start eating right, if we just become less stressed and less diseased, we will be healthier. But instead, we resort to pharmaceuticals, to prescription drugs, which have caused people to overdose, which have caused more problems than they have helped. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, pharmaceuticals. And this is what it's really all about: drugging up the nation. You see, they have two types of drugs. They have illegal drugs and they have legal drugs. Which one is worse? You have the illegal drug dealer and you have the legal drug dealer, which is the pharmacist. A pharmacist is just a licensed, legalized drug dealer. He walks around in his white coat and he has so many different types of drugs at his disposal. And he must be very careful on the dosage. He must be very careful on the drugs that he issues and make sure he issues the right prescription. You see, the drug kingpin is the doctor who prescribes the drugs. And you take it to the drug dealer, you pay him money, and he gives you the drugs, like painkillers, like drugs to pick you up, drugs to calm you down, drugs to make you sane. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Did you know that it is not a good thing to be taking drugs? But the sheeple have been tricked into going to the doctor and getting on prescription drugs. Somebody may say, well, what am I supposed to do if I'm in pain? What am I supposed to do when these drugs are supposed to help me? You see, just like a car, your body, your mind, and your soul must have preventive maintenance. Your mind, your body, and your soul. If you cultivate your mind, if you take care of your body and you take care of your soul, you will be more healthier. If you don't stress out your mind, if you don't walk around stressed out and full of mental anguish, it will actually make you more healthier. If you take on spiritual practices like meditation, like eating right, like living right, and not indulging, you will be more healthier. Yes, if you exercise and stay active, you will be more healthier. Now, am I saying pharmaceuticals are totally unnecessary? No, I'm not. But the pharmaceutical industry should not be a multi-billion dollar industry. The fact that it is a multi-billion dollar industry lets you know that this is some drug stuff going on here. How legalized drugs are being distributed in the nation. When there are people who live right, people who think right, and people who cultivate their soul, never need pharmaceuticals. It is the food that we are eating. It is the stressed out lifestyle that we are living. It is the lack of spiritual practices that is causing us to need the pharmaceuticals. If you just do the preventive maintenance like on a car, you must change the oil. You must check the radiator. You must check the tire pressure. If you do the preventive maintenance, you can make just about any car last a lot longer than it should. But if you don't do the preventive maintenance, if you don't check the oil, if you never check the radiator, if you never do any of that, the car will go down and eventually break down. And then you will have to take it to the mechanic to get it fixed. It is the same way with you. If you cultivate your mind, if you take care of your body, and you have spiritual practices like meditation and calming the mind and calming the heart and calming the soul, and not giving in to compulsions, not overindulging in compulsions, you will be a much healthier person. And you won't need so much pharmaceuticals. The pharmaceutical industry should not be a billion-dollar industry. Something is wrong here. The manipulation of a nation. I'm not going to hold y'all long tonight. Let's move on to the education. School. We should go to school, right? After all, we have to get an education. But if you think about this, they attack you education-wise when you are very young. They have things called preschool and pre-K and kindergarten and junior high and high school. What are they really teaching you? Are they really teaching you about life? Are they really teaching you about how to become financially independent? Are they really teaching you about the really things that really matter? You see, really, the only thing you really need is to learn how to read, write, and do math. All that other stuff is just extra stuff. You see, education is good to a certain extent. But when you have to regurgitate information, when information is poured on you and you have to regurgitate it on a test, that is not good. Technically, you are not learning anything. You are only regurgitating information. It goes in your ears, goes in your memory banks, and you regurgitate it up on a test. The education system is basically teaching you how to be a manufactured debt slave. Oh, there are some people who go and get higher education. They become engineers. They become doctors, lawyers, you know the basic things. Some who are very athletic even become professional athletes. But what about the regular guy? What about the regular girl? The one, once they graduate, don't really know what they're going to do with their life. Don't really know where they're going to go. They find themselves going to community college because they can't pay, because the debt that they could get in if they take on some sort of education tuition assistance, they will start off out of the blocks already in debt. The education system is good to a certain extent, but they don't teach you about spirituality and how to manifest and how to co-create. Many people don't learn this until later in life, that they can manifest and co-create. They only teach you how to be a manufacturer, work in the manufacturing industry, and become a debt slave. Do not become a debt slave. To all the young people tonight, get in touch with your spirituality. Find the God within. Start co-creating and manifesting your life. The education, it is what it is, but it's more to what it is. To all the older people, you've been in the game a long time, and you realize the lies. You realize that it have been real lies that you've been told. And so you must also get in touch with your spirituality. Not religion, spirituality, searching for the God within. You are a part of God. God is a part of you. You are actually a God in a human body. That's why you can co-create and manifest. But they don't teach you this in the education system. They only teach you how to work in the manufacturing industry. Or you may even get a profession and a career. And many people become successful. They make a lot of money. They buy big houses and nice cars. And in all they're getting, they forget about the God within. They think they've won because they became a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer. They think they've won the game because they drive a nice car. and they have a nice house. They think they've won the game because they got a little bit more than everybody else. But if you're not spiritual and you haven't gotten in touch with the God within, you have lost the game. You've only been manipulated by the education system to thinking you're winning. Until you get in touch with your spirituality, it does not matter if you are an engineer. It does not matter if you are a doctor or a lawyer or a successful politician. It does not matter. Only what you do in the spirit matters. But the educational system has tricked you into thinking that if you get all this education, you will win in life. But it's not about winning in life. It's about winning in the spirit. Many people that are winning in the spirit may appear to be losing in life. And many people that appear to be winning in life are losing in the spirit. Because they've been manipulated into thinking that all I got to do is get all this education. What profit does a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul and his spirituality? I want to move on to the next subject. I was going to say government and lack of privacy. This is not here to down the government or anything, but I want to talk about the systems that are in place. People are relying on the government more than they are relying on God. They're putting more trust in the government than they are in God. I would even dare to say that government has become their God. They want the government to solve all of their problems. Render to Caesar what is Caesar. They have this tax system set up. They have all these laws set up. They have all these restrictions set up. And it seems, when you step back and look at it, it seems like you are really in a prison. You think you're being governed, but you are actually being watched. You are actually being herded like cattle in this governmental system. You need to stop looking to the government to help you. You need to stop looking. The government is watching everything you do. Yes. They track your cell phones. Everywhere you go, you take your cell phone. So they know where you're at all times. Yes. They track your social media. They know what you're clicking on and what you're not clicking on. They know what you're listening to and what you're not listening to. They know what you're posting and what you're not posting. Yes. What you think you are being governed and taken care of, but really you are being herded like cattle. Tagged and bagged. Don't fall for the manipulation of a nation. I'm not going to hold y'all long tonight. But I wanted to give y'all these three more arms. The manipulation of a nation. Pharmaceutical. Start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of your mind, your soul, and your body, and your spirit. And you won't need the legalized drug dealer. Educate yourself on spiritual things, things of the spirit. Learn how to manifest and co-create with God. It's not just enough just to get an education and win in this matrix life. But you must win in the spirit. That is true success. That is true wealth. Being abundant and wealthy in the things of the spirit. and know that you are being herded like cattle. Step away from the sheep herd and start thinking for yourself. Stop letting media and government tell you what to think and start thinking for yourself. The manipulation of a nation. I didn't want to hold y'all long tonight. I just want to give you a little bit more information on how to better yourself in this matrix system. You must better yourself. Stop trusting in legalized drugs. Stop trusting in this government-run educational system. Stop allowing yourself to be herded like cattle. Step away from the sheepfold and become a lone wolf who thinks for himself. This is the manipulation of a nation. Light beings, awakened ones, truth seekers, they don't allow themselves to fall for the manipulation of a nation. Yes. This is Jerome Strickland. Just want to give you a few more nuggets. Something to help you out in your life. I'll be back with another video real soon. Y'all take care. God bless.